Hi boys, so Shenmue 3 is coming out tomorrow and we thought, what's this game about again? Actually, not everyone's familiar with Shenmue as it was an exclusive for the Sega Dreamcast. And I don't know about you, but I didn't know anyone in my childhood who had a Dreamcast. So my dear younglings, me and the boys are here. We've even installed a Dreamcast emulator to make it a 100% authentic experience and played the very first Shenmue for the whole night. And now we'll quickly tell you why the first Shenmue were fucking outstanding games at the time and why you might like the third part. The first game was released in 1999, and just to understand the awesomeness of this phenomenon, let's dive into the era. Just imagine. Last year Fallout 2 was released and the first Metal Gear Solid. You heard from your friend that sometime this year some game which is called Silent Hill was released. Also, a couple of your friends told you that next year Diablo 2 is going to be released, right along with Quake 3. So you get the overall picture, right? What games were released at that time? They all became classics and earned their place in the Hall of Glory, no doubt. But they're a bit different from modern games, just a little bit. So let's presume you suddenly got a Sega Dreamcast. You launch Shenmue, and what do you see? Well, in the first couple of moments you don't see shit because you are blinded by the unbelievable graphics. Then you calm down, call your boys, and invite them to your place. Drink your Pepsi and shout, "Wow, what is that? No shit, that's just like in the movies, it's so realistic. Facial animation. Oh my god, his eyebrows are moving." And you're like, "Hey guys, check it out. I can get to this switch on the wall and turn on the lights." And your boys are like, "No way, hey look, I can open every motherfucking wardrobe in here. Oh, I can open the drawers and look under the vase. Holy shit, you see the clock on the wall? They actually showed a real time. Oh my god." And then you go outside and you see how it's full of life. You can buy milk in a convenience store, feed the kitten, play arcade games. You can enter almost any building. All the dialogues are voice acted, and in case you forgot, it's 1999. And now you're alone because your friends ran home in tears to play Syphon Filter. The Shenmue plot is focused on an investigation of your dad's murder in a small Japanese town. It's the mid-80s in the game. You search for evidence, follow from one clue to another, meet local neighbours and their troubles. So, in its core, Shenmue is a quest game. You talk to passers-by, look for the right people, explore the town, solve puzzles, and get into trouble. You could say, well, that's pretty impressive for 1999, but 20 years later, it's like, meh. But I'll say, hang on a minute, I'm not finished yet. First of all, there was a very rare thing for games such as actual time. Each character has its own schedule. Buses also follow their own schedule. Night comes after day, stores close, some quests become unavailable after a certain time, and others have a strict time window when they're active. You can miss your bus, and then you'll have to wait for the next one. You can't skip time in the game, and you really need to wait and look for options to pass the time. This was quite infuriating for some players actually. The second thing, just like in real life, Shenmue doesn't lead you all the way and doesn't count on you as an imbecile. There's no map markers, hell, there's no map in the first place. You need to navigate using the road signs and asking locals. There's always something going on in the town. That girl's being harassed by some thugs, children playing soccer and throw the ball right in your face, some random bike jumps from behind the corner, and all that gives you the feeling that the town is alive. Soon you'll know each NPC by its name. You'll feel pretty attached to an old housemaid and will investigate each alley. Third, all the talking and walking is mixed in with some pretty basic combat and QTEs. Now everyone laughs over the press X to win in 1999. It was a fucking revolution. And the fourth thing, almost a third of the game you'll have to be a porter. So you can say that Hideo-san is not such a genius. A porter simulator was made 20 years before Death Stranding. Yes, of course the first Shenmue had its own flaws. The last third of the game was really dull. A lot of the players even at that time considered that the game lacked dynamics. A lot of quests frustrate you with its complexity. It's easy to get lost there and lose the investigation direction. But that was a product of its time. Silent Hill also had its piano. But it was okay, people played it and enjoyed it. And both parts of Shenmue ended. Basically, they ended with nothing, always leading to a sequel. But overall, even in 2019, it's a pretty engrossing game. And thinking that it was released in '99, well boys, I don't even know how to compare it with anything. Imagine that Witcher 3 was released in 2007, at the same time as Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Gothic 3.
Hey, stop! You violated the law.
You get it? And if it wasn't for Shenmue, we wouldn't have Fahrenheit and Heavy Rain, nor even the whole Yakuza series or Telltale's The Walking Dead. All that said, the sales were pretty bad. I heard that Shenmue cost $70 million in development, and to be successful, this game had to convince everyone who had a Dreamcast to buy 2 copies at least. So we hope we were able to give you just a slight understanding of what this thing is, Shenmue, and why it's considered to be a classic and so beloved by the old folk. Probably the third game won't be able to impress us, just as the first 2 kicked the shit out of everyone 20 years ago, but we can cautiously presume that it might be pretty good. So that's all. Give us your likes, click subscribe and the bell icons, comment if you agree or if you disagree, check out our previous videos about bugs and breakpoint, and remember, we love you boys. Bye.